Hello and welcome back. And I've changed my mind of what I planned to do today. What I planned was to plant up all these mini pumpkins in the climbing frame. These cucumbers is what made me change my mind. These two have actually rotten down at the stem, and this one is the only one that hasn't rotted down at the stem, but the head of it has come off, so that's not really going to grow anymore. So this is my first setback, and I've got quite a few I've had in the last couple of days or weeks really, but that's okay. You know, a setback is just a setback. You know, I can fix this by getting some new plants, and they don't come in till Friday. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to get some new plants and hold off on planting up these pumpkins, because what we've had in the last week or so is some real cold nights, and we've had all this rain, and it's still forecast for more rain, and it's also going to be still cold at night. So what I'm going to do is, like I say, hold it off for another week. But this now then causes me a problem, because right now the greenhouse is a bit of a jungle and I don't have the space for these. But yeah, it's been really cold at night. You know, this is the first time I'm not actually wearing a big jumper while I'm doing some gardening. Right, let me just show you the greenhouse. Like I say, it's a bit of a jungle and there's a few more setbacks in there as well. Right, here you go. We've got the tomatoes, which are now just a jungle now. I need to get those split up and onto the other side as well. So we've got the pumpkins just I just mentioned, but down here, this tomato is a goner. There's just a huge ant's nest in it, so that's one of my other setbacks. But these tomatoes are doing well, and all these plants need to go out now really, so just to make some space. Right, so that's just the lettuce that's got the ant's nest in, and what we have in here is I'm plagued with ant's nests. The soil is so dry, and what I need to do is I need to really give it a good old dig over, wet it all down, and then what I'm going to do is get some nematodes for ants. The nematodes just discourage ants from making a nest in that bed, so hopefully I can discourage them and they move out. They're fine anywhere else, but in here, and that's why I mainly grow in pots, because every time I put something in the soil, just ants nests appear. So I know it's a setback. I'm going to lose the lettuce plant. What I'm going to do is going to take a whole load of cuttings off it and hopefully get a plant for one of the cuttings. And again, if it doesn't happen, then it's not the end of the world, because I've already got lettuce here, which is really fruiting really nicely at the moment. So one less tomato plant's not the end of the world. And then I've got to clear out all these plants, try and get as many of them into the beds as possible. Now in the last week they've really grown quite quickly, so what I need to do, like I say, is get them out just in case they start to bolt. I mean, the last of the Chinese cabbage of the first ones that has bolted, so I need to get all these into the beds, and that's what I'm going to be doing next. And then I've got these are poppies and Korean mint, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those into the metal tubs, because it looks like the heat is actually making them struggle at the moment. So I'm going to get them out and hopefully they survive the slugs. So like I said, I'm going to put them into the 2 dolly tubs just as they are, and hopefully they'll survive, like I say, the slugs. So that means that these shelves can go, and hopefully then, if most of this is gone, or I can just rearrange it a little bit, then I can get these tomatoes sorted, because they've just gone like a jungle at the moment. And I've neglected them, so I need to just have a look and see what they're like, and then next week I may start to prune some of them back. Right, bit of work to do, so I'm going to get all these out first and start getting them into the beds. Right, so that's quite a lot of plants to go out. There's Chinese cabbages, chards, all the kales. I've got some kohlrabi, onions. I'm going to do some of the leeks, and the rest of the leeks I may put out protected in some of these beds. That bed over there, the parsnips haven't come up, so what I'm going to use that as just a nursery bed at the moment, and I may put a line of kohlrabi in there. The ones that I was going to put in there, I'm going to put in there, and I may also put, I've got some spare chard. So I want, how many do I want to go in here? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 to go in here, but I think I've got 10. So what I'll do is put some in that bed as well. This is my new toy. I say new, it's a 1950s bulb planter, and it's so well designed. It just really fits well in with your thumb. So I'm really pleased with it, and this is going to be the first trial of actually just scraping back the soil and popping in the plant and just moving the soil back. So it's ideal for these raised beds and like a no dig theory. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So what I'm going to do now is start clearing out this bed because all the chard and the spinach has gone over. I'm going to move that net over from there because the lettuce is starting to bolt, and move the net over here. And like I say, I'll do a line of kohlrabi in that bed, and any of the spare chard where the parsnips failed. And like I say, that's a failure or a setback, but I've already got plants to go in there, so if I have to buy a couple of parsnips at the winter time, then that's what I would do. Hopefully I would have grown more stuff in the area that the parsnips would have grown, and next year I'll get some new seed, some fresh seed, because that's what I used. I used some old seed, so it's on my own fault, but it's not the end of the world. Right, I'm going to, while I'm here, is these are some plants, and these are real lovely salvia. It's Bumble Sky, and they're going to get planted up over there. That's just all off camera. And also I've got these. I ain't going to pronounce the name, but let me just quickly show you them. That's the name of them, and they start out like this, and then they eventually end up like this. And these are the same family as the African daisy, which are doing well in the garden. So hopefully these can get interplanted with the agapanthus, and hopefully they'll do well. I don't know whether they're perennial, but very pretty flowers. Right, I'm going to crack on, get this bed cleared, and show you the progress at the end. Right, so I actually did the greenhouse as well. It looks really tidy, and I'm really pleased with it. I can actually now see all the tomatoes, and we've got 6 along here, and then the latar there, and we've got 6 along here. And what I want to do is see how many I can actually get from just 6 plants. Because normally I've got them all crammed in. This was just completely crammed. The last 2 years that's what I've done, and at times it has suffered. So if I take this one, this is the orange banana. I've got a lovely side shoot coming off here, and that's got 1 truss, 2 truss, and then the 3rd truss there. Then we've got the normal, the main stem, and that's got quite a few trusses on it already, and then all these other side shoots. And I'm still leaving on all the side shoots at the moment, just so I can actually see how they're developing, because what I want to see is how I can actually tie them up whether I'm going to keep them. I did actually lose a few when I was just untangling them. But again, like I say, I'm really pleased. And what makes it really easy is I can just go along and just pollinate them with the little tap of the trusses. So that makes my life really easy now. I'm really pleased. There's plenty of room in here. So the pumpkins are there, and so the peppers are there, and the peppers will go down here, down the sides, eventually when they're big enough. But at the moment, these are just the plants still ready to go out. And up here, I actually cheated. When I went to buy or look for replacement cucumbers, I'm still waiting on those to come in. I picked up some lettuces, because look, these are the lettuces I sowed a couple of weeks back. I've literally just got one little one there, and that's it. So I'm really struggling with the lettuce seeds, and I'll look and see if I can find any new packets just to sow some more. Yeah, so I've gone and done that, and what I'll do is I'll show you where they're going, and when I take you outside and up to the top and show you the beds that I've planted up there, I'll also discuss the black fly on the broad beans. I looked at them the other day and suddenly saw loads of ants, and then saw what they were eating. It was the black fly. So next year I'm going to make a note, 1st of June I need to start checking the broad beans. So yeah, anyway, I've also done all the beds. They've been turned over and soaked, so we've now got some nice moist compost. Hopefully that'll disrupt the ants at the moment, and then I'll get the nematodes in as well. Right, let's take it outside. There's a lot being done. All that was in here is gone, so it's gone outside. Right, so that was the female blackbird, and she's been following me around for the last day while I've been planting out all this stuff. She's been having all the worms, but she also is going around eating all the slugs, and they are really just going right the way through the garden at the moment. So they're a real benefit for us. So we don't mind feeding them. We're going through quite a lot of food at the moment for them, but she's fledgling. I think she's got the second lot of fledglings at the moment, so she will actually come and tell me when the food's run out as well. Right, these two beds, what have I done? I've taken most of the stuff out now, except for a couple of the beetroots and a couple of the Chinese cabbages. They're just about going over, but that's fine. So I've got kales and chards and a few more beetroots planted in there. So it's the cottage kale, the red Russian, dazzling blue, and the cottage kale down the bottom, and we've got interplanted with the rainbow chards going down. I'm hoping that we'll get the chard growing fast, so we get a good harvest off that, and then we'll have to start getting the harvest off the kales. I've not grown kale at this time. I only did it last year around about August, just to see what I get over winter, and I'm going to see how big these get, because again these are all new plants except for the red Russian, so we'll see how we go with that. And then on this bed, right, so I've done a new row of the kohlrabi, giant and the purple. I did check just in case there was any parsnip seedlings in there, but I didn't find anything. So it's a setback, but I'm already replacing those seedlings with these kohlrabi, and these are my spares at the moment, and these are all the leeks, and all I'm doing is just putting them out at the moment just so they can get some rainwater, and I'll start planting those up when when space becomes available in the next couple of weeks. And then what I've done here is I put in a spare Bridget and Brendan Brussels sprout, and the reason is just in case one of these outer ones gets hit by slugs or is like this Bridget, a slow starter, then I can just move one of them across, and if I don't need them, it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to see how they go for the next couple of weeks, and like I say, if I don't need them, then I'll take those out and I'll put maybe some beetroot down the middle. Right, let me take you up at the top beds now. Right, so we've got 3 beds of the broad beans, and what I did was I actually planted them out the 300 spacing this time. Usually they're all crammed in. So I have actually got 2 stems virtually on each one, and that's why I wasn't too bothered about the setback of having to top them all off because of the black fly. Because I have actually got double stems, so hopefully I get a nice harvest still. And at the moment, fingers crossed, I haven't seen any new black fly on them. Right, so I put in 2 rows of beetroot there, they're both hardy. I've still got plenty more to pot on in the greenhouse and then to put into this bed. And then down here where the ranunculus are, I think I'm going to put some more leeks. Because I've got plenty of leeks, and I think I may put a couple of rows in there as well. Right, so I'm going to leave the video here now. So like I always say, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again.